So here comes the Blue Lagoon, which again is one of those iconic movies that people still talk about today. And you've done a million other things beyond the Blue Lagoon, but it always seems to circle back to that iconic movie back in 1980. Um, Tell us about that story of auditioning, and I mean, some 4,000 others tried to get that iconic part, and I think was was Willie Ames in this? Was he not in it, but was he auditioning for this?
He
Willie Ames
was,
from Eight Is Enough, and yeah.
yeah, the director wanted him. And I think the nudity scared him off. And I love Willie. Willie's a good friend and he's awesome. And, but I'm not sure exactly his story with it, but yeah, he was one of the people that the director Randall Kleiser really wanted. Um, and and I think one of the reasons why is Randall always saw. If you see, I have straight hair, but in the Blue Lagoon, and then a lot of pictures afterwards, they kept curling it. And the reason why they curled it, yeah, there it is. They kept perming it, and the reason why is the director always saw that character as a Greek Adonis, one of those
Yep.
Greek statues with that curly hair.
Yeah.
And Willie had that look, so that's why he, I think, was going after Willie.
But to know that 4,000 other people were, what was that process like for you? I mean, incredible.
It was so weird. It was just so bizarre. I mean, I had no idea what auditioning for a movie was. I just thought this is going to be really cool. I'm going to go in and audition for a movie at Columbia Pictures in New York City. And I could tell all my buddies, we can go watch the movie and say, oh, I read those lines. Ah, yeah, I went in for that movie. And I just thought that was cool enough. But the last thing I ever thought of, I was going to get the movie. So I went in for the movie, sitting in the hall with 100 other people, did my audition. And then I got called back, and then I got called back, and then I got called back, and I kept having to do audition after audition. And at some point in time, you kind of say, "Look, can't you just remember the first one? And what's going on? Eventually, I'm going to do a lame audition, and you're going to kill me here." But that's why they have take two. Anyway, so I kept doing these auditions, and I think I did like three or four of them, and then they disappeared. So I didn't think twice about it. And a couple months later, now this was over winter time, and how they did it was they had a camera set up in this office at Columbia Pictures, and they had us sitting on the floor reading lines like we were sitting up against a coconut tree or whatever. And it was a cold filing cabinet, and with this, it was literally a lamp with a shade off on the floor as light. And they were Randall was videoing us doing this. So a couple of months go by, and I get a call back, and they said, "Hey, listen, we'd like to see you again." I said, "Well, aren't you supposed to be filming this picture by now?" And they said, "Yeah, we just haven't found the guy yet, and they'd like to see you again." And I was like, "Okay." And this time, though, the summer had started. And so I'd been down at the club. I'd been out on the boats. I'd been getting a lot of sun, so I had a nice tan and the whole thing at this point in time. And they go, "But can you bring a blonde curly wig?" And I went, "You want a what? A blonde curly wig?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I've got a drawer full of them. What am I?" A blonde curly wig. Well, Mom's blonde, and she happened to have something that she had buried in her closet. And I brought that into New York City, and I went into and I did the audition with Julie Warner, who would have gotten it if Brooke didn't do it. And Julie Warner, as you know, was Doc Hollywood and all that. And I loved Julie. She was just an awesome girl. So anyway, so I went in there. They took the wig, they curled it all up, put it on me, did another audition. Now I came back. And this was on a Wednesday, I think. And I had shot or maybe it was a Tuesday, and I had shot a commercial for, I think it was Jordache or Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, one or the other. And now I'm going to be on TV. This is really cool. I got a commercial. So I shot this commercial, and then the next day they called me up and they said, "Hey, you've got the movie." And I said, yeah, that's really great, but I'm late. I got to catch a train. And they were, they were saying, what do you mean? We have to talk to you. They want you for the movie. Then I said, I'm on the Ford softball team. I'm going to be late for a game. I
For the
got to
game.
catch the train. Right. And I could care less about the movie. I don't know anything about cameras and movies or anything, but I do know softball or baseball.
And this is important to me, and
This
it's
is more
big.
important.
They're counting on me.
So they talked me down off the ledge on that one, and then we had a really long talk about it. And then I had a long talk with my mom about it. And at this stage, I was 17, just turning 18. Yeah, maybe I had just turned 18. So yeah, and it was the rest was history. I did that. They called me up on a Friday. I think they flew me out the next day or something ridiculous. And then I went in and met everybody, all the bigs at Columbia Pictures, and saw the studios, and I mean the whole thing. Met John Travolta, who was Randall did the movie Grease, and talked to John. He gave me advice and everything, and it was really magical. And then the next thing you know is 2 days later, we're on a plane heading to Fiji.